Hello everyone, right over here is the new MGS6. It succeeds the MG Marvel R, which I had the chance to review, I had the chance to test drive, and I must say this is a massive improvement. It looks better, it looks premium, but at the same time it's not all pink roses. Is it just me, or is this the third electric Chinese SUV to have this sort of design? This is what I'm talking about. I think this is the third time I'm seeing an electric EV with a similar design like this on the side. First Xpeng, then Zeekr, and now this. Is it just me, or does the rear look a little bit like Mercedes? Gotta give it to them, the interior is gorgeous. Now this has to be the largest frunk I've ever seen. Wow! Before we go further, make sure you have pushed the subscribe button and the notification button. Check the link in the description for more of my car reviews on YouTube of other MG cars and of course the potential competitors of the MGS6. Alright, let's get on with this review right now. Hello everyone, I'm Uday, I'm AutoChamp Wandelen, and right over here is the new MGS6. Now before we go further, I want to talk to you all about my first impression of the MGS6 and a little bit of history. Now when it comes to the MG brand, they've seen a massive change when compared to what they were many decades ago. Back in the 60s, back in the 70s, it was all those beautiful British coupes which you could drive in the British countrysides with every weekend. Oh my goodness, those were the beautiful times. The nice paint, the nice chrome grille at the front. This was wonderful, but everything changed in the 2000s. That was when the MG brand started releasing plasticky coupes that were not exactly desirable and they were not exactly reliable. And then of course, they were beaten by competitors at that time. But then it was taken over by a Chinese group called SAIC Motors, SAIC. But then as of lately, the MG brand has shown little to no interest in bringing back the good old coupes, the nice British coupes, everyone. It's all electric cars, it's all crossover SUVs with designs which I find to be questionable in my personal opinion. But then at the same time, just like other Chinese car manufacturers, they offer you perfect value for money. The kind of equipment list you are never going to find from the Volkswagen Group, Stellantis, and other competitors, if not all competitors. Because I know the South Korean competitors, they still tend to be very generous, like Kia and Hyundai. Now, I'm going to start by talking about the front design of the MGS6. Now, if we remove the badge for a moment, you will notice that it's very similar to other EV cars from the Chinese car manufacturers, how they tend to have this humble round-edge front design. You also have a 360-degree parking camera, I just noticed, and the wheels, they look quite nice. I actually like the design of the wheels. This is something about the alloys, they look quite good. You also have keyless entry, which is quite nice. But then there's also another problem. If you look at the door, every time you close it with the door open, you'll hear a lot of noise. Yeah, that's with the window open. So you just have to watch out for that, that's all. Otherwise, when it comes to the rest of the car, from this angle, this is where I see a lot of Xpeng look-alike. You see this? You see this? And then from the rear, I don't know if it's just me, but does it resemble Mercedes a little bit? Kind of reminds me of what I've seen of the Mercedes EQ classes. And then obviously those rear lights, they kind of remind me a bit of Lynk & Co. It's, you see, so that's the thing about the MG brand and most Chinese car manufacturers. They tend to draw a little bit too much inspiration from what others have come up with, but then at the same time, they do make it better. Everyone, you're not gonna believe this. Right over here, you get a massive frunk. This is way bigger than what I've seen of any Geely Group electric car, like that of Volvo and that of Zeekr and that of Lotus. It is huge, everyone. Even Polestar. Look at this. This has to be the biggest frunk I've ever seen. Now over to the interior of the MGS6. First thing you'll notice that both front seats are electrically adjustable. That's a pleasant surprise. Leather seats, they look quite nice with the Alcantara effect to the middle. Now I want to start on a positive note. This is way better than what I've seen of the MG Marvel R. This car succeeds. Thank goodness you don't get a massive touchscreen like that of a Tesla or that of Mercedes EQ classes. You get a nice touchscreen just over there, but you get some physical buttons just over here, and you get a nice stroke for your wipers, nice stroke for your indicator, and steering adjustment, which you can move up, down, in and out, electric steering adjustment, transmission over here. You know why I'm pointing this out? Because for some absurd reason, car manufacturers are putting everything on the touchscreen, and that's driving me insane. I do not like that concept, all right? I prefer having the physical buttons, and just right here is everything I want and everything I need. But does it have the looks? Does it have the style? That's where the problems lie, actually, because if you look at the interior design, it has a little bit of a generic image, and there's again a conflicting theme. And this is something I've noticed about most Chinese car manufacturers. Whilst they offer you value for money, they tend to have conflicting theme in their interior designs. For instance, one moment you're looking at a very sporty trim, and then next moment you're looking at a very budget trim or a very ultra luxury trim, and these are two things that just don't pair well together. For example, if you look at a BMW M5, you notice the interior will be very sports centric with a carbon fiber, and then also with a sporty trim combined with Alcantara or such, you see. And then if you look at a Maybach, you'll notice mostly luxury materials, so soft touch leather, wooden trim, or maybe a trim that's just not carbon fiber, if you know what I'm saying, or at least you can have it if it's optional, but you would avoid it if you want a real Maybach. So that's what I'm trying to say. When it comes to the MGS6, there's a lot of there's a lot of conflicting things. For example, you have this trim that looks like carbon fiber, and then next moment you're greeted with the door that looks like it's come straight from a Maybach. I mean, look at this Alcantara effect. It's quite interesting. I like the cross effect. It looks nice, but at the same time, what? And is it just me, or do those window buttons look very Mercedes-ish? It looks very Mercedes-ish. What's going on here? Okay. Otherwise, good news is you get a panoramic roof. That's great. But the steering wheel is also nice. I like how you have the rough side over here so that you have a better grip on it. That's quite nice. Now over here you have a glove box, which is quite nice. And then over here you have two cup holders, which are a bit randomly placed in my opinion, but then it's something you will get used to in long terms. However, just over here you have a telephone pad, which is Alcantara covered. And then over here you have a swivel wheel, just like Jaguar Land Rover back in the days. And then over here you get a nice central console storage, which is actually very deep. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. And then some additional storage space underneath over here with a 12-volt power outlet. That's quite nice. And you get a USB-C power point just over here, a USB-C charging port. But the problem is it's very small, and it was something I could not notice at first glance. So it's kind of randomly located. So it's, yeah, not a big deal, but just something I thought I'd point out. And I like how what they've done with the air vents. It's a bit discreet, and it's split into two parts. You have the top section, and then you have a bottom section on the side, which is quite nice. But then over here, the air vents are a bit interestingly placed. You see, if you have to keep them in the upper position or something, or middle, because if you put them down, it's pointless. It's just gonna blow air onto the transmission over here or so. So it's a bit pointless, but then at the same time, I can see what they were trying. Door bins are actually very nice. It's quite long. It's long enough as it has to be, and I'm sure it can fit a big water bottle. It should be able to fit something in there. And now I'm gonna have a look at the rear seat of the MGS6. First thing I'd like to point out is that the door is quite long, and the ease of entrance is excellent. It's almost like that of a limousine. It's quite nice, and the floor is literally flat. Literally. It's like that. It's even better than what I've seen on any minivan. I can literally slide towards this side, or I can just slide back to the side. It's very nice, and the seats are very cozy. And this is so good because I can actually stretch my leg in comfort, and I have some nice support over here. Oh my gosh, this is one of the best rear seats I've ever sat on. Oh my gosh, and the headrest is so good. Oh my gosh, this is excellent. This is great. This is everything I've wanted for an electric car, or for any car for that matter, guys. And it's only 49,000 euros, and yet the back seats feel like I'm sitting in a car of 100,000 euros or even 90,000 euros. And even these kind of cars don't offer you the ideal comfort or fullest comfort. You have to go beyond that. And this is great. Look at this. And then I have an armrest over here, and it's very squishy, by the way. Oh my gosh, the materials are very, very pleasant to hold on to, very pleasant to touch. And then also over there, you have some USB-C charging ports and air vents over here. Backseat pocket, the door bin, which is very nice, by the way. There's something about this rear seat that's perfect, okay? Perfect. And everybody gets a handle just above, coat hook over there. And because you get this, now, something interesting I've noticed, usually I tend to complain when EV cars get the panoramic roof because it gives it a little bit of a Tesla effect or Xpeng effect. So, you know, how there's just glass everywhere. But there's something about the MGS6 that's rather balanced approached about this. You see, like they didn't overdo with the glass effect everywhere. When sitting on the back seat, you do feel like you're sitting in a crossover SUV of some sort. Definitely, you do feel like you're sitting in a crossover. It's not like a greenhouse, obviously. And now over to the boot space of the MGS6. So the button is just right over here. Now over here, there's something a little bit surprising. The rear seats are very spacious and very comfortable, but there's just something about the boot space that looks a little bit short, at least from above. But then as you look downwards, it's a bit wider. There's a bit more volume. And then just underneath, there's no extra storage space at all. It's all for the electric car components, actually. So it's a bit interesting what's going on. When it comes to practicality, the boot space is not exactly the best in its segment. But then for 49,000 euros, and given how good the rear seats are, I cannot exactly complain. And then when it comes to the boot lip just over here, the plastic is very durable right here, and the body paint has a bit less exposure. However, this end still sticks out. Be very careful in long terms when sliding luggages in and out, and try to make minimum contact with this area so that in long terms you don't end up scratching the paint over here. Otherwise, for the rest, it's great. So here's my conclusion of the MGS6. For a price of around 49,000 euros, this is an interesting successor to the MG Marvel R. It's way better than the MG Marvel R, and I think it's a bit more structured. I see some stronger MG identity, at least based on what they're trying to come up with in this generation over here, in the 2020s, everyone. It's a bit of a pity that MG refuses to make references to ancient MG models from the 70s with the gorgeous MG coupes, but that doesn't really matter anymore at this point. At this point, what really matters is you're getting value for money, and the rear seats definitely feel like they're from a car worth almost 200,000 euros. It's great. It's very comfortable, and it's just excellent how everything is moderate. You see, everything in moderation. No extreme of EV stereotypes, but then no extreme of boring designs. They try to blend everything together. Now, whilst it's true that the MGS6 does have a little bit of an identity crisis from the exterior, it does look a little bit generic. But then on the positive side, I'm very impressed with how great value for money it is, how very well equipped it is. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment section below sharing me your thoughts of the new MGS6. What are your thoughts about it? Do you agree with my opinion of it, or do you have another idea? Please let me know what your ideas are, because I'm very, very curious to know what you all think. And check the link in the description for more of my car reviews on YouTube of other MG cars and the competitors of the MGS6. All right, I will see you all next time.